thanks for staying with us. Nigerian Customs Service seized explosive at Ikeja Airport. Also on customs report, importers told to always come and seek clearance before bringing any consignment into the country. The Controller General of Customs speaks on revenue generation as approved by the management of Nigerian Customs Service, plus more report. I am Igisebe Engineer. Stay tuned. The Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service has continued to speak on revenue generation to members of the Committee of Customs in Abuja. He told them the customs will always implement policies set down by the federal government. The customs boss urged will be importers to always clear from customs books before importing goods into Nigeria. He said that with the clearance, goods will not be seized at the point of entry.
Why are we having problem meeting our target? And despite the fact that the National Assembly has put in everything that is necessary to get us moving and collecting the targeted revenue. Mr. Chairman, let me start by saying, unlike my brother in the NNPC, the job of customs is unpredictable. We rely on the market forces that drives the import of items into Nigeria. And as of today, Mr. Chairman, the bulk of our revenue comes from import. In most climes where the customs collect revenue, they rely mostly on excise. And that means the production within the country. Today in Nigeria, as you know very well, Mr. Chairman, the only excise we are authorized to collect is on tobacco and alcoholic beverages.
He continued to speak on activities of the service.
This is one of the biggest challenges Nigerian Customs has, and I don't think it's only Nigerian Customs Service, it's the global problem to all customs administrations. Even the most advanced customs administrations suffer the calamities of smuggling because of the penchant of our people to move across items that are either prohibited on prohibition list or those that would attract the duty, but for some reason they evade the duty. So this is not only our problem, but it's a global problem. And in Nigeria, ours is even the worst because our people are the most non-compliant group of people. I must say this and say it with all sense of responsibility. If we measure in terms of compliance, our people are not ready to comply. And therefore, you find out that for every 10 containers that we examine, you hardly find 5, in most cases, that are fully in line with declaration. The rest are either underdeclared, in connivance between the importers, the freight forwarders, and of course our officers in some cases. So this is one of the fundamental reasons why smuggling still continues to strive. Along our borders, Mr. Chairman, distinguished members, we have put in place what we feel is adequate in terms of managing smuggling. We have a 3-layer enforcement. We have the area commands that are deployed in the borders. We have the federal operation units, and we have the strike force, which are always on standby for any credible information to strike. These have yielded adequate result But certainly that has not curbed smuggling. And I must say here, Mr. Chairman, that for us to stop smuggling completely is probably unheard of. But we are working assiduously to reduce it to the barest minimum. And we need a lot of other input in terms of technology, in terms of manpower, and of course, most importantly, Mr. Chairman, is that I've said this in so many forums, and I will repeat it here, is that the non-cooperation of our border citizens is one of our biggest problems. And I don't blame them, because when you go to these border communities, Mr. Chairman, you find out that in most cases, there's no governance, there's no presence of government there. Today, Coca-Cola is produced in Nigeria and paying no excise. It's only in Nigeria that you find Coca-Cola products and they're not paying excise duty. All other carbonated drinks are also injurious to our health. So if we equally tax tobacco and alcoholic beverages, I see no reason why we should not tax the carbonated drinks. We have said this for the past 5 years I've been on this seat. And up to today, we have not been able to get it through. Why? The reason why, I don't know. So, Mr. Chairman, my submission is simple. We will continue to rely on the unpredictable atmosphere to collect as much as we can, but for us to be precise and more predictable, I think we must pay more attention to our industries and extract excise from them. That will be more predictable and much more realizable. And of course, for every import duty we collect, we are, as a matter of fact, encouraging other countries to produce. For every import that comes into our country, it is our money that goes out to finance those factories and give jobs to their own people. Whereas in our case, we are not producing. So, Mr. Chairman, to say this is that the National Assembly should also help and see how, on the whole, totality of it, we can encourage domestic production, because that is the only way we can sustain our economy and, of course, sustain the revenue collection for the Nigerian Customs Service.
You are watching the program Customs Report. The Assistant Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service, in charge of Zone A, has told area controllers recently visited to continue to implement government rules. She said that most commands revenue has continued to improve in spite of the COVID-19 problem facing the whole world.
To Nigerians, for example, if you take the air wing unit of the service, we have a number of aircraft, such as helicopters, that we do aerial patrol and gather intelligence around the country. 2, the antimony laundering unit, you find members of that unit or officers of that unit deployed to all international airports and major entry and exit points. The main function of that unit is to monitor, register currencies going in and out, and render such reports on weekly basis to the office of the ACG headquarters. The printing unit, the unit is responsible for printing of all our files, documents, and any other publication of the service, such as files like this. This is equally a product of the printing unit. And with this, the service was able to save a lot of money. Imagine we are giving this thing out as contract to other printing press to print for us. We'll have to pay a lot of money. But we are doing this in-house, and it's equally assisting the service. Then the public relations unit. This unit is responsible for managing our information and other public relations issues between the service, the other medias outside. And under that unit, we have Nigerian Customs Broadcasting Network. We have a television station, we have radio station, and they are all digital. You can tune to the radio on the net. You can equally get it on FM. Then the television, you see most of our activities. This one is being coordinated by the PR unit.
The coordinator of CG Strike Force in the Western Zone has continued to arrest and impound goods from smugglers operating along the nation's borderline. The Strike Force coordinator said that the exportation of unprocessed woods is not allowed in Nigeria. He urged importers to stop the exportation of woods outside the country. He speaks more on the wood seizure.
ICT angle, we have been able to rake in for the month of November through demand notices in excess of over 333 million. Then, from January this year to November ending yesterday, the CGC Strike Force Zone AICT unit have been able to collect from this little infraction a sum of 3.6 billion naira. Then, since the inception of the team, October last year to yesterday, we have generated in excess of 4.2 billion. You will agree with me that this monumental achievement is due to diligence, hard work, honesty. We know we cannot but do our best to ensure that we don't fail this country. Be that as it may, the enforcement and the section, the operation, for the month under review, we've been able to have a total seizure of 103. What you are about to see behind us is we have 61 by 20 containers of unprocessed wood and 36 by 40 containers of charcoal. We have 1,110 pieces of donkey skin. Equally, we have 4 by 40 containers of used clothing. We have 1 by 20 container of tomato paste, as well as 1 by 20 container of batteries. The battery was falsely declared. And you know, false declaration is liable to seizure in cost of balance. And the tomato puree and 3 by 40 containers of used clothing, they were all seized right inside the port. Be that as it may, Nigeria as a country must be seen to comply to a sustainable forest management policy of harvesting and planting. When you harvest forest, the law is that you plant. When you are replanting, you are regenerating. And by so doing, you are afforestating. That is, afforestation is key. The forest itself is vital to human survival because it's a two-way connection. The carbon dioxide that we emit is what they inhale. And the forest itself exhales oxygen, which we take in as humans. So humans and forest and plant must live together. But this noble relationship, this robust relationship is being threatened by activities of criminals. Our role as a service does not end in seizures of goods and services. We equally have the national security role we play by ensuring that laws made by government are not only followed, but they are protected. The teeming Nigerians who are farmers, we have problems. We used to go to farms and hide under trees to rest after a hard job. But now our businessmen, those who think they are faster than the country, they need this money than the entire Nigerians. See the havoc they are creating. So a message to them is that so long as they don't stop doing it, we will equally not rest on our house.
The Muritala Mohammed Airport Commando, Nigerian Customs Service, has seized goods worth millions of naira, including explosive, from importers. The controller said that the command revenue and anti-smuggling tribe is very effective in this command.
As we all know, having overstayed explosive in the environment where we all come every day to discharge our official responsibility is like living with a disaster waiting to happen. When explosive becomes unstable, it generates heat, thereby resulting into explosion. This is because all explosives are sensitive to heat, shock, frictions, and electrostatic discharge. I may not be an expert in analyzing the details, the dangers associated with overstaying explosive, but the ultimate things I know is that it can cause various kinds of diseases, accidental explosion, fire outbreak, and even death. Hence, the urgent need to evacuate them out of our living environment for safety of all of us. The suspected counterfeit drugs, which came in with AR bill number 071-4120-9324 of 5 packages. The breakdown of these packages are: 1. 10 cartons of Senetil 5 milligrams, having total of 94 packs, housing a total of 282 tablets. 2. 26 packages of Kenalog in abeyance ointment, 10 grams, having 390 pieces.
According to him, the drug sales exceeded the allowable milligram of 50 in accordance with the law. He also said that the customs handed over the explosive seized importers to the Nigerian police units of the service.
People are just trying to be smart. Maybe the ports are so hot and they want to try the airport, not knowing that all our officers here were up and doing. We know what it takes when you take a fake drug. It can affect your liver, it can affect your kidney. At the end of the day, you will be hearing that you will go for transplant for disease you don't know. And these are the things that causes all these things. Do the right thing and follow the due process. Import a correct dosage of the drug. Import the correct one. Not that this one that will cause problems into the country, our citizens. Is it me that will buy it and take? Somebody, one of us, it may be your brother, your sister, it may be your wife. And from time to time, you see that we'll be catching all these things because we'll not allow them to go into the system.
The National Assembly members in charge of Customs Committee in Abuja has continued to fine-tune the laws that set up the Nigerian Customs Service. At the committee, the representative of the CJ of Nigerian Customs Service has this to say.
We are still studying the document. We will get to the committee if there's any special thing to say. But suffice to say that we are not opposed to it. In fact, we are the greatest beneficiary of the bill. So, Chairman, we thank you so much. We look forward to a robust discussion, and we hope that when this thing comes to fruition, we'll all be happier for it.
The controller in charge of FOU Zone B and his men has seized goods worth millions of naira for operators operating along the nation's borderline, the northern axis of the country. The controller speaks more on the seizures.
The deliberate attempt by federal government to promote the farming, the production of rice is very, very important. As such, all hands must be on deck to ensure this illicit product does not come to Nigeria, because by allowing it means those who are farming this product or those who are marketing it, business will collapse. Therefore, I call all of us here to share information that will lead to arrest of rice whereby we find ourselves, so that our farmers will survive, the millers too will survive. Otherwise, if you allow it to come, it will be very injurious to the economy of this country. By my left here, we have 524 kgs of vegetable oil. It is a fact that every one of us here knows. This is a product that business people are giving loans. They are allowed to establish local factories here that will produce this for our local consumption. As such, we will not allow it to come, because compromising this to come means most factories that are giving permission to produce in this country will collapse. And you know the consequence of allowing an industry to collapse. There will be loss of jobs, there will be loss of investment, and other economic variables that will be bad for the country.
He warns smugglers against smuggling goods along the nation's borderline, say that anyone caught will always face the law.
As you all know, every agency has its own different capacity in discharging our constitutional responsibility. I keep on reporting here, NAFDAC cannot be everywhere, customs cannot be everywhere. That is why it becomes a must for every sister agency to work with one another, so that the ultimate goal is for our national development. We have been doing it for NAFDAC, and it is our pleasure always to do it for NAFDAC, because all of us here knows the important role NAFDAC is playing in order to secure our country with regard to food, drug, and other regulated items. I have been telling people that who can listen to me, since my joining of the service, the conduct of NAFDAC officers, wherever I found myself working with them, is always very good. And that has helped a lot in ensuring that those illicit products that may be harmful to the general public in Nigeria here is controlled beyond circulation. So today, we are going to hand over 393 unregistered pregabalin capsules, 80 bottles of codeine syrup, and other unregistered products.
Just before I round up this week edition of the program, Custom Support, we brought you a report where goods worth millions of naira was seized by some commands in the country. For me, Igiseme Etinye, thanks for watching.